2.4 million years ago. If you fell asleep in the wrong place, you never woke up. This was a world where humans were not hunters. They were prey. There were no cities, no technology, no safety, only predators, hunger, and survival. This was a world where one mistake meant death. And in this brutal wilderness, a small, fragile species took its first step toward becoming human. They were called Homo Habilis. Africa, 2.4 million years ago, was a land of extremes. Open savannas stretched endlessly under a harsh sun. Dense forests hid unseen dangers in their shadows. Giant predators, creatures of nightmare, ruled the land. Life here was unforgiving. It was a constant, desperate struggle, and survival was never, ever guaranteed. Every sunrise brought the same urgent question: could you live to see another? So who was Homo habilis? The name means Hembi man. They were among the very earliest members of the human family, our distant, vulnerable ancestors. Standing just over a meter tall, they were short, lightly built, and physically weak compared to the monstrous predators they shared the world with. Their brains were larger than earlier hominins, a crucial advantage, but still far smaller than ours today. Sheer strength alone could not save them from being wiped out. They needed something else, something revolutionary. Imagine what their lives were like. Every single day was a battle. Finding food meant risking a violent death. Water sources, essential for life, were also killing grounds, attracting every predator for miles. Even a moment of rest could be fatal if you chose the wrong spot. Homo habilis did not dominate nature. They survived within it, moving cautiously, fearfully, but also intelligently. They were masters of avoidance, always looking over their shoulder, always listening for the slightest sound. Their greatest weapon wasn't muscle, teeth, or claws. It was the mind. Homo habilis became the first innovators, creating the earliest known stone tools. These weren't complex machines. They were simple, sharp-edged rocks, flaked into a cutting edge. But they changed everything. These tools allowed them to slice meat from carcasses left by other animals. They could break open bones to get at the rich, nutritious marrow inside. And when cornered, they could be used to defend themselves, a last, desperate line of defense. With tools, a new path to survival became possible. Now, you might picture them as brave hunters, but the reality was quite different. Homo habilis were not powerful enough to take down large prey. Instead, they were expert scavengers. They were opportunists. They would watch from a safe distance, waiting until fearsome predators like saber-toothed cats had finished feeding. Then, in a heart-pounding race against time, they would rush in, risking everything to collect whatever leftovers they could before other scavengers arrived. One wrong move, one moment of hesitation, and they became the meal. But they did not face these incredible dangers alone. Homo habilis lived in small, tightly knit groups. This was their key advantage. They shared food, ensuring that even an unsuccessful individual had a chance to eat. They watched for danger together, with many eyes and ears scanning the horizon. Their communication was simple, a series of gestures, sounds, and facial expressions. But this cooperation, this ability to work together, gave them a social strength that no solitary predator could match. It was the beginning of community. And their enemies were everywhere. Saber-toothed cats with dagger-like fangs. Giant hyenas capable of crushing bone with a single bite. Massive birds of prey that could snatch a small hominin from the ground. The threats weren't just other animals. Even a simple cut could lead to a deadly infection. A broken leg was a death sentence. There was no medicine. There was no shelter strong enough to keep all dangers out. There was only constant awareness, group cooperation, and a good deal of luck. So why does Homo habilis matter? They didn't build civilizations, they didn't write poetry. They likely didn't even control fire. But they changed something fundamental about what it meant to be alive on this planet. They were the first to prove that intelligence could be a substitute for raw strength. They showed that a tool, crafted by a thinking mind, could be more effective than a natural claw. And they demonstrated that cooperation could overcome dominance. They started us on the path we're on today. Homo habilis lived short, brutal, dangerous lives. Most probably never reached adulthood. Yet their relentless struggle for survival, day in and day out, laid the foundation for everything that came after. From those first simple stone tools, to the rise of cities, to the technology in your hands right now. To you, this was the first critical step. This was life. 2.4 million years ago. Thanks for watching. If you found this journey into the past fascinating, be sure to subscribe for more.